Have you ever used a pattern that looked fine on paper, but once you cut it on your fabric, it started hanging differently, twisting weirdly, stretching too much, or just not feeling the way you expected? And sometimes the problem is not the pattern shape. Sometimes it's not even the sewing. Sometimes it's the grain line. Because the same pattern piece can behave like a different design just because of how it was placed on the fabric. And that's what I want to show you today. Because grain line is one of those things people often treat like a small technical detail, when in reality, it can change the whole look and feel of your garments. Now, let's keep this simple. What is grain line? Grain line is just the direction your pattern piece was placed on your fabric. And usually we are thinking about three main directions: the straight grain, which runs up and down the fabric; the cross grain, which runs across the fabric; and the bias, which runs diagonally through the fabric. Now, these directions do not behave the same way when sewn. They don't hang the same way, stretch the same way, or hold shape the same way. So the moment you place a pattern piece in a different direction, you are changing how that fabric will act in the garments. This is why grain line matters so much. A lot of designers miss this because grain line is not one of those topics that always feels exciting. It feels like one of those technical notes you add later, like, okay, yeah, my pattern is done. Let me just mark in the grain line so my pattern looks cute and professional. But grain line is not just a note, it is part of the design decision. Because your sketch or design inspo may show one feeling, but the grain line is part of what makes that feeling possible in real life. So if the grain line is wrong, the design may still be cut beautifully, sewn neatly, but still not behave the way you wanted. And that is why this topic matters so much. Let's start with a fitted design. For example, let's say you want to make something like a fitted top or bodice. If that pattern piece is cut on the straight grain, you usually get more control because the fabric will behave in a steadier, stronger way. It holds shape better and it's easier to manage in a fitted garment. But if that same piece starts shifting off grain, or you cut it on the bias without meaning to, the behavior changes, because now the fabric may stretch more, it may fall or drop differently, it may stop holding shape the way the design needs, and that can create problems like garment distortion, uneven fits, stretching where you did not want it, and a garment that feels less stable. So in a fitted design, grain line is helping you control the fabric and body relationship, and that's not a small thing. Now, what about the cross grain? The cross grain runs across the width of the fabric. It usually has a little more give or stretch than the straight grain, so it is often a little less stable and a little less firm. That means it can respond differently to tension and can change how a garment feels, stretches, or hangs. Not always in a bad way, but it does mean it will not behave exactly like the straight grain. So if a design needs strong control, the straight grain may be the better choice. But if the design can handle a little more give or stretch, the cross grain may work well too. Now let's talk about something softer: a cowl, a draped neckline, or a top that's meant to fall gently. If you cut that on the straight grain, the fabric may feel too stiff. It may not fold or drape the way you imagined. It may not give you the kind of soft movement the design requires, and it may look flatter or more rigid than your sketch or reference image suggested. But the moment you move that pattern piece into the bias direction, the fabric often becomes more fluid, and now it starts to fall and drop better. The drape starts feeling softer, and the design starts looking closer to what you want or imagined. So in this case, grain line is not just controlling the garment, it's helping you create the actual effect the design needs. That's why two garments can come from almost the same pattern shape but feel completely different once they are cut and sewn. Let's look at one more example: a skirt panel or part of a dress that needs movement, like a skirt or dress with inserted godets. If you cut that panel on the straight grain, it may fall in a cleaner, more controlled way, although might be a little stiff. If you cut it on the bias, however, you may get more softness, more swing, and more movement, and that can be beautiful. But it also means the fabric may drop more over time, which may cause an uneven hem. It may stretch differently over time, and if the grain is not planned properly, you may get twisting or uneven hanging. That's why if you cut something like a circle skirt on the buyer's grain, you may have to let it hang overnight before you hem the edges to catch some of these distortions early. So again, grain line is affecting the behavior of the design, not just the construction of the pattern notes, but the actual garment's behavior. So what exactly does grain line change? It changes stretch, it changes how the fabric hangs, it changes drape, it changes control, it changes stability, and it changes movement. And that's a lot, which is why I want you to stop thinking about grain line as something small. Because when you change grain line, you are often changing how close the garment feels to the body, how soft or firm it feels, how much it moves, how much it twists, and how much support it gives the design. So really, grain line is part of the design language. Now, here are 4 simple questions to ask before choosing the grain line for your garments. First, ask yourself, do I want control or softness? Second, do I want this fabric to hold shape or flow more? Third, do I want a clean structure or easy movements? And fourth, can this area handle extra stretch? And that last question matters a lot because some parts of a garment can handle more give and stretch and other parts really cannot. So before you place the grain line, think first about what the design needs the fabric to do, and that will guide you much more better than just copying what you are used to doing. The most common mistake I see is treating grain line like some small set step, as if the design and pattern are already decided and the grain line is just a label. But that's backwards because grain line helps decide how the garment will behave. So it should be part of your thinking earlier, not just something you add when everything else is finished. So if the design needs softness, the grain line matches. If the design needs support, the grain line matters. If the design needs movement, the grain line matters. If the design needs stability, the grain line matters. So don't wait until the end to think about it. And the big lesson here is this: grain line is not just about where the pattern sits on the fabric. It is also about what that fabric will do once the garment is made. So when you are designing, do not only think about shape, seams, darts, fullness, and silhouettes. Also think about direction, because direction changes behavior and behavior changes design. That is why grain line can change the entire design. So if this video helped you understand design more clearly, download my design decoding guide in the description box below. It will help you start reading designs in a more structured way before you draft them. And if you want to get stronger in your pattern foundations, my pattern drafting foundations course is also linked in the description box below. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you in my next video. Bye.